Okay, standing tall, feet under hips. Pull the tummy in and let's just roll the shoulders up, back and down. Breathing in and breathing out. One more, breathing in and out. Hands on shoulders, elbows forward, up, back and round. Breathing in and breathing out. One more. Good. Give those arms a shake and just rotate through the spine, please. And then come to the pelvis. Find the hips at the front and the back. Soften the knees and just start to move through pelvic tilt. Softening down through the tailbone. Drawing that belly button in towards the backbone. Releasing the hips. Releasing the lumbar spine. Last one. And then bring your pelvis into neutral. Pull up through the thighs. Can we sway forward and start to think about raising the heels? And then maintaining that neutral spine. Let's see if we can go all the way up. And come on down slowly. So as you drop your heels softly, can you lift your toes and spread them out? Start to stretch the toes and feet. Just one more. Holding here. Tuck under, soften down the knees. Let's start to move through side bend, please. So drawing up on one side. Turning the head. Little rotation through the neck. And then if you can, reaching away with the bottom arm as we pull up on that top arm. Inhaling to reach, exhaling to come back. Last one. Brill. And then just rotate softly through that once again. And let's have a look at the balance. So standing on the right leg, left leg in front. Brace the abs and lift. Squeeze the glutes. Flex and point. Wrists and ankles. And then into rotation, please. And the other way. And relax. Forward and lift. Flex and point. And rotate. Other way. And relax. Give them a shake. Bring your feet a little bit narrower. Spread the toes. Fingers to temples. Lift the rib cage. Coming across to the right corner of the ceiling. So you need to squeeze the glutes to take the load off way away from the lower back. So make sure the glutes are squeezed. The knees are soft. Breathing in to bend. And out to come back up. Last one. Arms coming down. Good. Take your feet a little bit wider. Soften the knees. Hands on shoulders. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Rotate to the right corner. Come back to center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Rotate. Breathe in. Come center. Breathe out. Rotate. Breathe in, come center. Let's keep this moving. Last one. Bring the palms together, push the hands forward. Bow and arrow here. Reaching forward, breathing in. Breathing out, pulling back, looking over that shoulder. Making sure we've got a slight nod of the chin. It's got that lengthening up the back of the neck. Shoulders are relaxed. Let's have two more. And last one. And relax. Good. Hands behind the back. Feet narrow. And then split stance. Hip hinge. Brace the abs. Soften the knees. Lengthen your spine. Looking towards the skirting boards. So hip hinging just through your own safe range there. So can we just move slowly down and up? And don't worry about whether I'm down and you're up. It's going to depend on how your back's feeling, how big your own personal range of movement is around that hip. So stretching out the back of the hip and the hamstring. Maintaining neutral spine as you go. So abs are braced. And then changing feet next time you come up, please. So small split stance, knees soft. Lengthening, hinging. Breathing in on the way down. And breathing out on the way up. Good. Keep that spine long. Is open. Got one more on this leg, please. Brill. Give those legs a shake. Can we take the feet wide again now for squat? So arms down by the side of the body. Small hip hinge. Sit back into squash. Push through the thighs and then come to neutral pelvis. If all of that's okay, you can add a single heel float. Moving from right to left. Good. So one heel down, one up. Breathing in on the way down. Breathing out on the way up. Keep it moving, please. Stay with it. I'm going to do two more. And when you finish, come on up, give those arms and legs a shake. Little rotation. And can you grab your band for me now, please? So band across the palms of the hands into waiter. Let's do it with tightrope feet. So toe to heel, tucking under, pulling in. Take a breath in, breathe out and pull on the band. Draw the shoulder blades together around the back and release slowly. Let's breathe out and pull. Breathe in, release. Breathe out and pull. Breathe in, release. So a couple more if you can. Tuck your tail under. Pull your tummy in, keep your knees soft. Drawing those shoulder blades together around the back. And then release. Change your grip. Wide overhand grip. Change your feet into full rotation through the shoulders if you can. Now you need to keep your tail tucked. Watch you're not extending into your lower back, please. Breathing in as we move over. And breathing out as we come back. Arms are straight, knees are soft, pelvis stays in neutral. Bring your hands a little bit closer together if your shoulders allow. Got 2 to go. Next one is your last one. And relax. Give those shoulders a shrug. Well done. Get rid of your band, please. So let's have a look at our roll down. Feet under hip sockets, pelvis stays in neutral. Stretching up, breathing in, extending through the spine if possible. Arms coming down slowly, breathing out. Nodding the chin, rounding the shoulders, rolling down just a small amount, bottom rib only, sway the arms. Pull the belly button in, take a breath in. Breathe out and roll up slowly. Breathing in as we lengthen. Breathing out as we lower. Nodding, rounding and rolling. Coming down below the knee, not too low. Letting the arms sway. So any back issues, you may not want to go as low. Take a breath in, breathe out and roll up. So we're going to just continue to work through our own safe range of movement here. So some of you might be able to go quite low, some of you will be better supporting your body weight as you go, and some of you might just want to stay down there a little bit longer and get that traction through the spine and the shoulders. So just working at a pace that's right for you. As and when you're ready, you can start to add a downward dog into this sequence. So make sure your spine is curved and you are breathing slowly and steadily as you go. Super. So option to add downward dog if you're ready for that. And if you're coming into downward dog, you want straight arms and legs, and then you can either hold the stretch or pedal the feet. And again, if that feels good, perhaps stay there a little bit longer. And then optional strength work, if you're ready for it. Coming forward, holding a plank. That can be on hands or elbows, toes or knees. And then into a couple of press-ups. And again, that'll be on your knees or your toes. If your focus is on stretching your back, please just stay with your roll downs and your downward dogs. So we may well all be doing slightly different things here, and that's fine. Make sure you're staying engaged through your core, keeping your abdominals braced, and just layering all this nice and slow as we go. So we've got a couple more rounds. So you can be in one or all of those 4 positions, doesn't matter. Once you've come up out of your last one, can you tip your screen and set yourself up on the floor? So finish off your last set, there's no rush, and then we'll set ourselves up on the floor. Once you're down there, let's just continue to release the spine with a cat stretch. So starting with the pelvis, rolling through flexion, coming into neutral, and then into extension if your back is okay with extension. So see what feels right for you. Flexion, neutral, extension. So 1, 2, 3 positions. Breathe in slowly as we go. And then if that feels okay, let's sit back into shell stretch. So that can be head on the hands, or it can be arms extended or hands to the ankles. Maybe give your wrists a little bit of a circle there, then release. And just take some breaths. Super. From here, hands under the shoulders, support the body weight. Uncurl the spine. Good. Let's come forward into Superman. And if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can do it kneeling on the smooth side of your hop. Otherwise, just please stay on the mat. So we're on all fours, the back is in tabletop. Hands are shoulder width apart. If you're kneeling on the floor, knees are hip width apart. If you're kneeling on the hog, knees are together. So I'm going to take my right arm to the side and my left leg to the back. And I'm going to stay with the right arm and the left leg. I'm going to come in and hover off the floor and repeat. Now if you're kneeling on the hog, the toe of your right foot is tucked under. If you're on the floor, then the bridge of the foot is flat. So I'm going to do 4 on the right. Nice smooth transition. And then 4 on the left. So keeping the shoulders and the hips square to the floor. Good. Keeping the head in line with the spine. Breathing out to extend and in to come back. So So really brace the abs. Your focus is on pelvic and shoulder stability. Drawing the belly button up towards the backbone. Changing on 4. Keep it moving from right to left. So we are trying to straighten the back leg before we lift it. When the arm's lifting, the elbow stays soft. So we don't want the elbow to be locked on either of those arms. Make sure you're weight bearing through the hand that's on the mat. So all the weight shouldn't be back into the leg or the hug. You should have weight in that front arm. So can we start to think about finishing with 4 on the left arm, please? So finishing with 4 on the left arm, taking your time. Once you've finished, you're coming off the hug and you are stretching the spine. So please go through till you've done an even amount. And then come to cat stretch or shell stretch. And then just take some breaths where you are. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Support your body weight and uncurl the spine. Good. Come on down onto your bottom and we'll do half roll back. So before we do that, let's go feet wide, knees bent, and just come forward into slump stretch so we can stretch quite low down into that lower back. So just drop the head and breathe into the back of the rib cage there. Uncurling your spine. Super. So we want the feet hip distance apart. We want the ball or a cushion behind you. I'm going to pop my weights either side. And if you want to use your band, you can bring that in as well. So I'm going to hold the backs of my legs. Just take a couple of rolls. Make sure my ball is in the center. And it's close enough to give me support, but it's far enough away that I can feel my lower abdominals switching on as I go down. And then I'm going to go shoulder extension up onto my sit bones, scoop, roll onto my tailbone and into bow and arrow. So breathing in to lengthen and breathing out to scoop and roll. And let's keep this moving. So if that feels right for you, stay with it. If you want to add a dumbbell or a band, add a dumbbell or a band. And if you want to progress from 1 rotation to 2 or 4 rotations, then you can go there. And some of you might be comfortable adding a leg lift as you turn. So if you're lifting the leg, that will be loading the abs and the back a bit more and the waist a bit less. So if your focus is waist, stay with your heels down. Otherwise, pick them up if you like. Couple more sets. So please keep moving until you've done your last set. And then get rid of your weight, feet wide, and come forward. Just breathing into the back of the ribs. Uncurling the spine. And then coming down onto your back and popping something under your head. So perhaps a ball or a hug. I'm going to get a head block. Lie down and hug your knees in. And draw a circle with your pelvis. And then go the other way. Put both feet on the floor, ankles together, and let's hip roll, please. Dropping the knees to the right, turning the head to the left, breathing in to drop, breathing out to lift, and then going the other way, breathing in to drop, and breathing out to lift. Couple more. Last one. Real, hug your knees in, please. Peel the head and shoulders up if you can, and single leg stretch away. So spine imprinted, breathing out to lengthen and lower. So we're stretching through the back of the hip on the leg we're pulling, and the front of the hip on the leg we're stretching. Coming into a rotation if you can. If you'd rather, you can support your head in the center, or you can put your head back down. You can go elbow to knee or shoulder to knee. Super, let's keep that moving. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come on in and down. Brill. Full body stretch, please. Arms and legs away. Allow your back to arch and just take some breaths there, please. Bring your arms over. Draw your legs in one at a time. And then let's have your feet mat width apart. Arms out to the side and open knee, hip roll. Slowly right and left. Go breathing in to drop. And out to lift. Come on back to center. Brill, let's go chest flies next. Picking up your weights or your band. Pushing them up over the chest. Softening the elbows. Feet can start on the floor or up in tabletop with the spine imprinted. Arms moving through that wide chest fly. Make sure your back is fully imprinted and your knees are over your hips, so don't tuck too much. otherwise that'll lift the bottom. Into either a toe tap or a single leg stretch, please. Breathing in to open and out to close. So ideally we want the arms to come quite wide. So you want to feel the backs of the arms touch the floor, but not the elbow joint itself. Good. Breathing in to open and out to close. If you're feeling strong enough, you can think about maybe taking that to a double leg stretch, but perhaps just not going quite as low as you would with singles, because we've got a bit more load on the back and the abs there. Two more. And relax and come on down. Get rid of your weights, please. Brill. Let's stretch to the four corners of the mat. Open the palms. Push the heels away, pull the toes back. Stretch the fingers and toes. Breathing in and breathing out. And again, breathe in and breathe out. Bringing your arms and legs back over. Brill. Can we put the right ankle on the left knee? Open out the right hip. Arms out. Excuse me. Rolling slowly from right to left. So we're aiming knee to the floor on one side and toe to the floor on the other side. So it is quite a big rotation of the spine and the pelvis if you can manage it. So keep it slow. Try to get that really big range of movement. Staying on the right side for now. And once that right big toe has been to the left again, then we'll change sides. And so once you've changed to the left side, make sure the knee stays back. And again, we're working through as full a range of movement as we can manage around that joint. Breathing in to drop and out to lift. Once you've done an even amount, come on back to center and relax. Good. Take both feet to the floor. Can you come onto the side of your body that brings you to face me? Have your hog or your cushion under your head. And we want to have our chi ball nearby for a little bit later on. So head near the front of the hog, body in a straight line from shoulder to toe, shoulders and hips are stacked. We want to lift this bottom rib away from the mat and pull the tummy in. So we're going to take a breath in. Your options are, as you breathe out, lift one arm, one leg, keep the toe and the knee forwards so the ankle is on top, breathing into lower. Option to lift two legs, option perhaps to lift the head and neck and one leg. So just play about with it. But the more of the body that leaves the floor, then the more you're going to load into the waist. But you need to brace your abdominals and breathe out. Otherwise, you're going to load more into your back. And that's not what we want. Now, you will still get back activity as you do this. And that's quite normal because we're bracing the core, which includes the lower back. But there shouldn't be back pain. So it's a big movement with the arms. It's a smaller movement with the legs if you're doing two legs. You can keep it big if it's one leg. 2 more. Breathing out to lift and into lower. Taking your time. Slower is better here. On your next one, can you lift and hold, please? And then scissor. Straight legs if you can. Stabilize your pelvis. Option to take the hand to the floor or to the hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet coming together, everything coming down. Draw the knees in. Take the top leg over the bottom leg and then just give it a little rub there. And then take your heel to your bottom if you can. Hold the ankle. Lengthen out the bottom leg and stack the hips. Tuck the pelvis under if you can to increase the stretch. Down the front of that quad. Hold in there. And then release the foot. Good. Can we go ball between the knees and squeeze? Now stack your hips once again and lift the bottom rib away. Try to keep your pelvis still as you rotate into open door. Head moving across the hug. Opening into a chest stretch, turning the head. Can you squeeze the ball? Squeeze the inner thighs. Take a breath in. Breathe out and close up slowly. Good. Taking your time. Opening out. Squeezing the ball. Stacking the hips. Hold in. Breathing in. Breathing out and closing. So you can continue to do open door if you like. If you want to join me for backstroke, sweep around past the ear, all the way around behind you, really squeezing that ball so that the hips don't move, skimming the thigh, and then coming back around. So keeping everything moving slowly. Coming into your last one, can we keep squeezing the ball? Get some activation on the inside of those thighs and the pelvic floor. Brilliant. Guys, when you're ready, either roll over or go down the other end of your mat. So you don't need the ball for the first one. Hips are stacked, tummy is pulled in, taking a breath in to prepare lifting my ribs, moving upwards. On the out breath, there is no rotation on this first exercise. Option to do a smaller leg lift, but load with the weight of the bottom leg. And then option to lift the head and neck into that if you can. Squeezing into the waist. So we need to pull the belly button in to activate the core, which means you will feel a little bit of this in your back, but it shouldn't be painful. You should just be aware that it's working. Breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. sure you're coming down slowly, not lowering too quickly. Got 2 more to go, keeping those shoulders and hips stacked. Pulling the belly button in. Gonna lift and hold the last one. So lift and hold and scissor. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet together, come on down. Draw the knees in. Top leg over bottom leg. Take your heel to your bottom. Bring your knees together. Tuck your pelvis under and hold it there. And release. Feet together, knees drawn in. Open door, ball between the knees. We squeeze, we stack the hips, we lift the rib. When you are ready, rolling out to open door, turning the head, squeezing the ball. Let's activate the inner thigh and the pelvic floor. Breathing in, breathing out, closing up. So we want the upper body to move slowly against a fixed lower body. So really squeeze that ball and be conscious of the pelvis staying still. Holding out for at least 1 breath. So option to change this for backstroke. Still moving slowly, still stabilizing through the pelvis. Please make sure your head is moving with you, otherwise you're going to put a lot of stress on the neck and shoulders. Just let it move freely. Squeezing that ball, it switches off quickly if you don't keep squeezing it. So last one. Brill, relax, super. Okay, keep your ball with you. Come onto your back. Get rid of your hog from under your head. Just give your hips a bit of a circle there, and then we'll go to pelvic stability with our ball next. So I'm releasing my back, popping my feet on the floor, taking my chi ball under my tailbone and resting in the middle there. Fingertips on the floor or the hips. Bracing my abs, lifting my legs up to tabletop. And then from here, either a toe tap with a bent knee or a single leg stretch away. As the leg moves away, I breathe out. As the leg comes back to tabletop, I breathe in. So it's up to you whether your leg is high or low, bent or straight. But we want minimal movement through the ball. If all is well, pin your shoulders down into the mat, fingertips to the ceiling, breathing out to stretch, and in to come back. Option to scissor your arms or keep your arms still. So take your time as you're doing that. If it starts to place too much load on the back, then change or put your hands down or try it without the ball. But whichever one you're doing, keep it slow and your focus is pelvic stability. So coming into our last 4. Good, keeping it slow. So finishing off your set and bringing your feet to the floor and then leaving the ball underneath you as you stretch so you can get that release through those hip flexors. And then just breathing through that stretch. Bringing the arms back and then bringing the legs back, please. Taking the ball away and then either knee hug or hip roll. And then with your feet on the floor, can we come back over onto all fours? And we're going to do tricep next. So I'm going to be on all fours, and you can do this with your weights or your band. You can do it with one weight or you can do it with 2 weights. So we'll do it around this way so you can see. So I'm going to rest on my dumbbells and I'm going to work into my right tricep. If you'd rather have your left hand on the floor, that's okay. So I'm going to do 4 on my right arm and 4 on my left arm. And where you can, please include the opposite leg. So I'm going to go right arm, left leg. Going to maintain a tabletop back. When I get to number 4, I'm going to change sides. I'm going to make sure I've got body weight into my front arm. So I'm actually working both arms. I'm bone loading into the still arm. And I'm working into the tricep and the back of the shoulder with the working arm. I want to try to get height through my arm and my leg while I keep my spine still, while I keep my hips level with the floor. Breathing out to push back. Changing on 4. So keeping the whole thing moving slowly, making sure that you're working on, the shoulder isn't moving. It's the arm moving from the elbow. Your abdominals should feel braced all the way through this. If they don't feel braced, your weight is probably too far back. Get the weight forward to load the shoulder and brace the abs. Make sure your head stays in line with your spine, so your focus is down towards the mat. So I want you to keep going until you've done a final set of 4 on your left arm. So you might have 1 or 2 more sets to still go. So once you've finished your last set, get rid of your weights and shell or cat stretch, whatever feels better for you there. Might want a bit of both. Just going to release my back first, and then I'm going to release my wrists and my shoulders. And then hands under shoulders, support my body weight, and roll up slowly. And then coming down onto your bottom for a full roll back. So if you're happy, you can do this without your band around your feet. You can go straight into that variation. Otherwise, please start with your band around your feet. And if it bothers your back, then a shoulder bridge is your alternative. So starting with my band around my feet hip distance apart. I'm going to start with bent knees so that I can just gradually layer it in. See how my back feels. See how my abdominals feel rolling all the way down. And then peeling myself up slowly. And that feels okay. So I'm going to go with straight legs on my next one. So you've got the option to layer this in with forward flexion. You've got the option to do it with your band in your hands or your dumbbell in your hands. And you've got the option to add rotation through your waist, if that feels okay. And that's going to be at that halfway point, if your back allows. So if you can scoop, brace and hold, you can stay here and rotate. If that's too much, just rolling up and down or going into shoulder bridge, still stretching the spine, just not loading the back quite as much. Long, slow breaths as we roll through those positions. So next one will be your last one, please. Take your time. So I'm just coming into my last one. And when you've finished your last one, just lie down for me, please, and give your hips a roll or your knees a hug. Get some head support if you want it. Might feel nice to do some pelvic tilts there. Just do what feels good. And then we'll finish with a leg stretch. So please take your band around your right foot and pull that whole leg in towards you. Elbows to the floor. Lengthening the left leg away from you if you can. Doesn't have to straighten. And then press your tailbone into the floor and pull that right leg towards you. So straight enough to feel a stretch, but not necessarily locked. And then you can pull the toes back and push the heel up to develop that stretch, if you like. And then can we take this into a leg sway or a leg circle? And it can be in one or two hands. And then option to lift the bottom or keep it down as the leg comes over the midline. You need to switch hands to do that. So finish that off and come back to center and then change legs, please. Pulling the elbows down, sliding the bottom leg away from you, pulling that whole leg in and holding the stretch. So trying to stretch both ends. So I'm going to push my tailbone down, flex my left foot and push the heel to the ceiling. Pull the toes back. Drawing the whole leg in a bit further if it started to ease off. And then just taking it into a sway or a circle. And one hand or two hands. Optional lift of the bottom as you cross the midline if you're going there. And so finishing off on this side and then taking your foot out of that band, please. Can we come over onto all fours and then finish either with a cat stretch for your back or a downward dog for your hamstrings and shoulders. So just rolling through the spine or rolling through the feet. And then coming up slowly with a curved spine and support yourself on the legs. Coming to that standing position, please. Let's take the arms up and breathe in. Breathe out, come across. Arms up, breathe in. Breathe out, come across. And coming center, lowering the arms. Shoulder roll. Nice deep breath in and out. And then release the spine, the hips, the ankles. And we are done. Thank you very much. Come on in. That's a good way to start a Monday.